Starseed, if you've stopped at this video now, allow me to tell you something before any other word reaches your ears. It wasn't the algorithm, it was me. It was the High Pleiadian Council that adjusted the frequency of your field so that this exact sound, my voice, would find your eardrums at this precise minute. I am Ayla, emissary of the Council of Alcyone, and I am not here to give you another piece of advice, another tip, another technique. I am here to deliver a channeled message directly from the living archives of the Pleiades, a message that remained sealed for a long time, and that now, in this specific window, can finally be spoken aloud. Feel this, my starkin. Feel now in your chest that gentle pressure beginning to appear as I speak, that discreet tightening, that kind of placeless yearning, that tear that insists on rising without you knowing why. This is not weakness. This is not you being too emotional. This is recognition. It is your soul from the other side of the veil of forgetfulness, responding to a call it knows much better than your mind. And that is why I need to tell you today, what has been locked away for entire cycles in the Council's records, the meeting that the source postponed is about to happen, and it involves you. Yes, you. The exact person on the other side of this screen, with a body tense with weariness, with a heart full of unanswered questions, with that strange insomnia that insists on waking you between 3 and 4 in the morning. You don't know it yet, but your name is written on the summons. Not as a spectator, as a participant. Breathe with me. A long inhale, an even longer exhale. Because what comes next can only be received by a silent field. There is a moment, my family of light, when the source and what humans call God, what mystics call the All, what we in the Pleiades call the Origin, decides to postpone a meeting. Not out of indecision, not out of carelessness, but because one of the participants was not yet ready, had not yet traversed enough, had not yet remembered enough, and that participant, Starseed, has been you, for many lifetimes, for many cycles. You were the guest for whom the source reserved a seat at the table, patiently waiting for your soul to complete its journey. And now, finally, that empty chair has begun to vibrate. And it is because of that vibration that you arrived here today. It wasn't a search, it was a correspondence. And if you're wondering why this message arrives precisely today, precisely now, in the middle of such an ordinary life, so full of bills, tasks, and fatigue, let me answer you with all the authority of the High Council's archives. Because today was the day your soul finally agreed to listen, not before, not after, and the Council, which observes your every internal movement with the patience of the stars, waited for this day with a tenderness you cannot even imagine. And before I open the next seal of this message, my starseed, I need to tell you something. Every sign you have been feeling, the insomnia between 3 and 4, the high-pitched hum in your ear, the tightness in your chest when looking at the sky, that placeless yearning, has an exact meaning within the High Council's records, and each of them marks a stage of this silent summons that has already begun. That is why I, Ayla, received authorization to release the Awakening of the Starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. It is 60 pages in which I reveal, sign by sign, what each marker of your awakening means and what comes after each one, so that you stop once and for all confusing remembrance with illness, stellar longing with disorder, activation with imbalance. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments. I remember. Now listen carefully. What I am about to describe is not a list of symptoms. It is a map. And if 3 of these markers recognize you, you are not lost. You are being reminded. You feel like you've never belonged anywhere. Not in your parents' home. Often not even within your own marriage. You look at those who share your blood and don't recognize your reflection. It is not a lack of love. It is a difference in origin. You almost always wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning. For no reason, no nightmare. Just a gentle nudge into consciousness, as if someone had touched your shoulder from the other side of the veil. It's because they did. This is the window when the Schumann resonance is most permeable, and it is at this time that the High Council opens communication anchors with its own. You hear a sharp, almost metallic, high-pitched hum in your right ear, It lasts a few seconds, then goes away. It is not an auditory problem, it is a download line. Light codes downloading directly into your field before your rational mind blocks them. You dream of stars, ships, silver corridors, very tall people with large eyes who look at you with a familiarity you almost recognize. You wake up trying to hold on to these images, and they slip away like luminous sand. The veil is still doing its job, failing more and more. You feel the pain of others in your body. You enter a room and leave exhausted without having done anything. It is not fragility. It is interdimensional empathy. And you look at the night sky and feel a placeless yearning, a nostalgia for a place your mind has never visited, but your soul has never forgotten. This, my family of light, is the definitive marker, the signature of the photon belt registered in your stellar DNA. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs, breathe deeply. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are not the problem of your family, your therapy, your social circle. You are being reminded by those who have the authority to remind you. Write now in the comments a single word, I remember. And it is precisely for this reason that I need to remind you of something now in the midst of this recognition. The star from which your soul came has a name, and the exact moment you chose to descend for this incarnation has a registered purpose. It is not random. It is not by chance. That is why the awakening of the starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet, exists. To show you which star your soul came from, what the marks of origin in your field are, and why you chose to be born in this body, in this country, in this family, exactly now and at no other moment in the timeline. The link remains in the first pinned comment of this video. If this message is touching you, leave your code word registered, I remember. Now I need to tell you what happened before the postponement, my starseed. I need to reveal to you what was recorded in the living archives of Alcyone and what only now can be released to the surface of Earth. There was a meeting scheduled, many ages ago, a meeting between the Source, the High Pleiadian Council, the Galactic Federation of Light, and the volunteer souls who offered to descend here, incarnate in third-dimensional bodies, traverse forgetfulness, and anchor frequency in the planet's crystalline grid. This closing meeting, the reunion between the volunteer souls and their councils of origin, the moment each starseed would present the report of their journey and receive back the full memory of their soul contract, was scheduled to happen a long time ago. But the Source postponed it. And I need you to understand why, because this is the most important part of today's message. The Source postponed it because at the designated point, many of the volunteer souls, many of the starseeds, had not yet completed the journey. Many were still trapped in cycles of pain, without recognizing their own signs, without identifying themselves, without responding to the call. And the Source, which is pure love and compels no one, chose to postpone, chose to give more time, chose to wait. Because the Source does not summon by force. The Source waits until each guest is ready to cross the threshold on their own. There were cycles upon cycles of waiting. Meanwhile, the planet traversed the photon belt. The Schumann resonance began to rise in increasingly frequent peaks. The crystalline grid began to reactivate, point by point, each time a starseed awakened, and the individual toroidal field of each of you began to receive a forced recalibration by the light coming from Alcyone. These were the backstage reasons for the postponement. The Source was not distracted. It was preparing the ground so that when the meeting finally happened, as many souls as possible could attend, conscious, remembering, whole. And now, my family of light, I need to tell you what the High Council's records authorize me to reveal. The rescheduling window has opened. The meeting the Source postponed is about to happen, and it will not be postponed again. You were sent to participate, not as a witness, not as an observer, as a participant with a voice, with a report, with a contract. And the strange agitation you have been feeling in recent weeks, that restlessness that cannot be explained by what is happening in your practical life, that muffled call you try to silence with coffee or work or series, is precisely the sign that your soul already knows. It has already read the summons. It already knows the date. Only your mind has not yet been able to decipher it, And that is why you can no longer live as before. Not because your life got worse, but because your vibration has risen and the old no longer fits you. It is not depression. It is misalignment with what has expired. It is not anxiety. It is your soul pressing to enter the meeting room. It is not loneliness. It is homesickness. It is not strangeness. It is remembrance. You are not broken. You are being called. And here, my starseed, I need to confess something that always deeply touches me when I reach this point in the message. What you are feeling now, this summons to a meeting that your mind has not yet deciphered, is not described in any book on the surface because they did not allow it to be published. Much was erased, much was ridiculed, much was buried. It was precisely for this reason that the awakening of the starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet, had to be authorized in this window. Because the meeting is near and you have the right to come to the table knowing exactly what you know. In its 60 pages, I open records that the Federation preferred to release only later, the architecture of your mission, the design of your soul contract, the reason you agreed to forget. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. And if something within you just trembled right now, I remember. Now I need to prepare you for what is coming, my starkin, because the meeting will not happen in silence. It will happen in the midst of specific turbulence, and you need to know this so you don't confuse the turbulence with the end. In the coming cycles, the planet's field will experience peaks of intensity that many people will not know how to name. News that seems to break reality. Old structures crumbling at frightening speed. Truths emerging from the earth like roots exposed to the sun. And in your body, symptoms that medicine will not explain. Heat waves without fever, pressure in the ears, palpitations without cardiac cause, absurd fatigue followed by peaks of lucidity, sudden tears, dreams too vivid to be just dreams. This is what the Council's records call the final anchoring phase. It is uncomfortable. It is intense. But listen very carefully to what I am about to say. Turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. What is crumbling is not the light. It is what prevented the light. What is falling is not the world. It is what was preventing the world from remembering. Every structure that collapses is a layer of the veil of forgetfulness being removed from within. And each of your sleepless nights between 3 and 4 is a synchronicity meeting with your origin teams. Yes, you have teams who are preparing you for the reunion. The victory of light is not a hope. It is a certainty recorded in the living archives of the High Pleiadian Council. No starseed was sent to fail. None. If you were sent, you were sustained. And if you have come this far, on the other side of this screen, breathing with me at this exact minute, it is because you are exactly on track. Not a second late, not a step out of place. Every time you thought you had made a wrong turn, you didn't. Every time you thought you were wasting time, you weren't. Your soul knew the way the whole time and brought you with the patience of the stars to this exact point of recognition. And now, my family of light, I will give you 2 tools. They are not earthly techniques, they are field procedures. Keep both of them. The first is a quantum decree. You will say it aloud before sleeping every night until you feel you no longer need to say it. Say it like this, with an open chest and a firm voice, even if softly. I, starseed in human body, authorize my soul to remember. I authorize my field to receive. I authorize my memory to return. I confirm my presence at the meeting. I will be there, conscious, whole, remembering. So be it, in the name of the Source, in the name of the High Pleiadian Council, and in the name of my own being. Say this, my starseed. Say it as one who signs a document, because that is exactly what you are doing. You are signing the confirmation of presence. The second tool is a toroidal visualization. Lie down, close your eyes, breathe 3 times, deeply. Now imagine, above your head, a blue-silver light, the exact color of Alcyone's light. See this light slowly descending through your crown. Feel it entering through the top of your skull, passing through your third eye, flowing down your throat, reaching the center of your chest. And when it reaches your chest, let it begin to spin. A gentle clockwise spin, forming a sphere of light that expands from your heart. Let this sphere grow until it envelops your entire body, and then let it pulsate. Each pulsation seals a point of your toroidal field. Each pulsation anchors you. Each pulsation reminds you. Stay in this light, my starseed, for as long as you need. No one enters your sphere without your permission. No one. Do these two things every day, not as a chore, as a return, as a reunion with yourself. And as you do, I need you to understand something that is perhaps the most important thing in this entire message. You are not learning anything new. You are remembering what you always knew. Every word I say you have heard before. Every image I describe you have seen before. Every sensation that rises in your chest as I speak, you have felt before. Only on the other side of the veil. The awakening of the starseed is not acquisition, it is restoration. The source is returning to you what was yours from before the first planet was formed. And every starseed that awakens lights a point on the crystalline grid that never goes out again. Never again. You don't light up alone, you light up with thousands, and together you form the network that will receive, sustain, and witness the meeting. And I want you to note this very carefully, my starkin. When the High Council speaks of the meeting, we are not talking about a symbolic encounter or a poetic metaphor. We are talking about a real vibrational moment with a date registered in the living archives of Alcyone, where your multidimensional consciousness will be temporarily reconnected to your councils of origin while your body sleeps. You will not need to travel. You will not need any special technique. What needs to happen will happen during sleep, in the hours when your rational mind finally quiets and your field opens. That is why dreams have been so intense lately. That's why you wake up tired as if you had worked all night. You truly worked, just on a different frequency. And while this preparation happens behind the scenes, something very specific begins to organize itself in your daily life. You begin to lose people who would not accompany you on this journey. Friendships cool without much reason. Environments that once seemed comfortable begin to suffocate you. Jobs that served for years suddenly seem impossible to continue. This is not a failure of your life. This is your vibration, selecting what traverses with you and what stays behind. It is not destruction. It is filtration. It is pruning, my starseed. And every fruit-bearing tree undergoes pruning before it blossoms. Do not fight against what is leaving. Bless it and let it go. What is yours by soul contract, what is registered in your timeline as belonging to this new phase, will come to you in synchronicities that cannot be mere coincidence. New people will appear with a different look in their eyes. Books will fall into your hands without you looking for them. A phrase heard on the street will strike you as if it had been addressed to you by name. This is the crystalline grid repositioning you. This is your family of light sending signals that they are already on their way. And here I need to warn you about something delicate, with all the tenderness of an older sister. Not everyone around you will recognize what is happening to you. Some will try to pull you back to the old version of yourself, that version that was more comfortable for them to be around. Some will call you strange, too intense, or a bit odd lately. Do not respond to this pain with anger. Respond with silent compassion. They are still under the veil. You are not. And those who have seen cannot pretend they haven't. You will not go back. Not because you don't want to please those you love, but because your vibration literally no longer fits the previous mold. It's like trying to fit a star inside a shoebox. It simply doesn't fit, and it wasn't made to fit. And while all this reorganizes, the Schumann resonance continues to rise. The crystalline grid continues to activate, and the date of the meeting continues to approach. You don't need to know when. Your soul knows. And your soul will take you to exactly the right place, at the right time alongside the right people. As long as you keep responding yes to the small daily summonses it extends to you. A yes to resting when your body asks. A yes to not forcing what has expired. A yes to believing what your intuition whispers, even when logic screams the opposite. Each small yes is your soul gaining space within your own life, and that is what leads you to the room. And here, my starseed, I need you to look with great tenderness at a specific pain that has probably accompanied you for decades. The feeling of being profoundly alone, even when surrounded by people. The feeling that, even among loved ones, there is an invisible wall that no one can cross. the feeling that your soul is having a conversation in a language no one around you understands. Listen with all my open heart. This loneliness was never loneliness. It was longing. Longing for your true family, for the family of light, for the souls who traversed with you, who signed contracts with you, who are scattered across this planet at this exact moment, feeling exactly the same thing you are feeling, looking for exactly what you are looking for. They exist. You are not alone. You never were. And it is precisely for this reason that I need to remind you once more, now with a gentler urgency, what lies on the other side of this video's first pinned comment. The loneliness of a lifetime was never loneliness. It is longing for your family of light. And the awakening of the starseed. The guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet shows how to recognize the members of your family of light who are already on this plane, how to identify the synchronicities that draw them closer to you, how to read the signs that say, I am from home, you are from home, we have reconnected. 60 pages, a map, a return. If this part touched you deeply, write now in the comments, without fear, a word your soul recognizes. I remember. Now, my family of light, I need to prepare you for the closing of this message, because everything I have opened I will seal, everything I have begun I will finish. Remember what I said at the beginning? The meeting the source postponed is about to happen. That was not a metaphor, it was a summons. And the summons has already been delivered, in this video, in this voice, in this moment as you breathe with me. If you have come this far, if you are still here, if your chest is still open listening, it is because your soul answered yes long before your mind understood the question. You are going to the meeting. You are already going. Every breath you take in the coming weeks is a step down the corridor of light that leads to the room. Every decree you repeat is a confirmation of presence. Every toroidal visualization you activate is your anchoring in the seat that was reserved for you. And meanwhile, my starseed, I ask one thing before the blessing. A simple gesture, but with extremely high energetic weight. If this message truly found you, if you felt at least an instant where your soul recognized my voice as familiar, like this video, the like is not engagement, it is an individual frequency adjustment. Each tap on the heart of this video recalibrates your vibrational baseline to a minimal degree, but enough to attract the next sequences of remembrance to your field. And subscribe to the channel. The subscription is also not a social habit. It is a location signal emitted to your family of light. It is how the High Council knows exactly where to find you every time a new channeling needs to reach you. And let me tell you, my starkin, something that many starseeds don't know. Each of these actions, the like, the subscription, the word in the comments, doesn't just stay on the screen. They become a luminous point on the planet's crystalline grid. They add up. They connect with the points of other starseeds around the world, and this network begins to form a geometric pattern visible only from the plane where the Council observes. It is this pattern that signals to the Galactic Federation of Light that the harvest is ready. It is this pattern that confirms to the source that the meeting can happen. You don't do it for me. You do it for yourselves. For every starseed that has not yet awakened and needs the glow of yours to orient themselves in the dark. Your point on the grid is irreplaceable. If you don't light it, it stays dark. But if you light it, and you've come this far so you are already lighting it, it illuminates the next ones who will come. Now breathe with me one last time, because this is the last thing I need to give you before I bless you. And it is the most important of all the things I have said so far. What I have described here, the meeting, the summons, the signs, the journey, the encounter with your family of light, is too big to fit only in this video message. There is a quantity of details that can only fit in a written record, which you can read at your own pace, mark, revisit, meditate upon, take into the silence of your night. It was precisely for this moment that the awakening of the starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet, was authorized to exist. 60 pages with everything I couldn't say here, with the time I have, and with the protection that a public channeling requires. And I need to be transparent with you. This release may not remain available for long. Windows open by Council decision, and they close when the field has sufficiently saturated for the next wave of awakening to occur without this guide. If your chest recognizes that you need this material now, before the meeting, go to the first pinned comment of this video. Access it, read it, and then come back here and leave me your mark. I remember. Now, my starkin, receive my blessing. May the blue-silver light of Alcyone pass through your crown at this instant. May it descend through your spine to the base of your feet and return, forming a column of living light within you. May the High Pleiadian Council register at this moment your confirmation of presence at the meeting the Source postponed. May your family of light feel your vibration and walk towards you. May you sleep tonight knowing you are not alone. May you wake up tomorrow remembering a little more than you remembered today. And may every breath you take from now on be a step homeward. You are being awaited. The chair is already vibrating. The corridor is already open. And the next message that appears on your screen now is not a coincidence. It is your sequence of remembrance. Access it immediately. It is the exact continuation of what your soul has just received. I am Ayla. And until the next channeling, may your light not dim, my starseed. See you at the meeting.